So last year was my first time as president looking over a graduation. I was such a deer in the headlights. I never really understood what it was like to put an event like this together. It's a monumental effort, and it's an effort that stretches across the entire community. It starts with Lynn and her team in development. It goes to Millard and his team in buildings and grounds, and Judy Allen and her team. It is truly a trans-COA effort. And what I would like to do is I would like all the staff to please stand up. Staff of the College of the Atlantic. And Sarah Luke, Diane Clendaniel, and Kate Mako have really gone a long way to making things really smoothly and fix the weather for us as well. You'll notice that I'm a third in the rather lengthy string of welcomes, and we're nothing if we're not welcoming, so I offer you a wholehearted welcome to the 2013 commencement ceremony of the College of the Atlantic. Across the trimesters of this academic year, there's been a lot of talk about the 99%, right, and the 1%. Well, today I present to you what I consider to be the 0.004%. Now, if you take 72, and that's about the number of people here, and divide it by 1,791,000, those are the number of people graduating with a bachelor's degree this year, that's what you get. 0.00004, and these 0.004% are merging into a world that's approximating the Indy 500, and in so doing, they're going to join 1,900 other College of the Atlantic graduates. So, if you'll indulge me for 1 minute here, what I do for alums is I take these little video messages of updates, et cetera, and I would like to get one from the whole crowd today to send out to include our alumni in this process. So I'm going to give a 1, 2, 3, and I'd like everybody to say, "Wish you were here," okay? 1, 2, 3, wish you were here. On 1, on 2, on 3, wish you were here. Woo! Thank you. This is our 40th commencement ceremony, and poor 40 gets overshadowed by 50 and 25. 40 is the Ruby anniversary, and I was actually surprised to learn that 85 was Oak, and that seemed like an interesting one. It puts our first commencement back in 1974, and the following year, 1975, we had a graduating class of exactly 1. So I called up Susie Lerner, who was a founding faculty member, and I said, what was it like? Where did you put the tent? And she said to me, "Tents? We didn't have any tents back in the day. We stood in the freezing rain and we liked it. And there were no chairs. We stood in our bare feet and we didn't complain." Well, we did have a speaker in 1975, and it was U.S. Congressman Bill Cohen from Maine's 2nd District. Bill's speech was interesting, I hear. It had a theme that was memorable, though, because it was quite off the mark, giving the one individual, and also because it was in plural. It was peppered with all kinds of plurals, which must have really made it difficult for the young graduate to understand. Like, as you graduates go off and try and get jobs, and that must have been tough. A lot has changed since then. William Cohen is a novelist now. We have a tent, thank God. Some of us are wearing shoes. Our graduating class size has increased by several orders of magnitude. Now, Bill Carpenter's still here, so that's good. That's a sense of continuity. But other than that, the ceremony and the world at large would be really hard to recognize if you were somehow magically transplanted from here from 1974. Our world is nothing if it is not extremely dynamic. which makes the role of a college really challenging. I mean, how do you prepare someone for a future that's changing so rapidly? And colleges tend to think and speak about filling a student's toolbox or tool belt. And you're going to be an accountant. Well, here's your math tool. And you want to be a chemist? Here's your physics and your math and your chemistry tool. And then you have the liberal arts that is more like looking at the whole person, be a well-rounded individual. It's more akin to, well, here are a bunch of tools, and cart them around in this very heavy and expensive toolbox, and you'll be okay to take on the world. Well, I say to you that on today's increasingly dynamic stage, I'm not sure that either of these analogies really work. And fortunately and strategically, at the College of the Atlantic, we've never relied on those models. What we do at COA is we provide extraordinary experiences within a community of extraordinary people. And across 4 years, we nourish a transformation where students emerge with a kind of capacity to ask the right questions and address complexity in an increasingly complex world. And the whole process is beautiful to watch unfold. And when it works best, there's something of a snap, right? Where passion, knowledge, and acquired skill all line up together. And success hinges on getting out there and doing stuff, right? That is our philosophy. Go out, do, and make stuff, where learning is an active, experiential process. And it hinges on a curriculum that's self-designed, right? These 72 folks here and the 1,900 alumni peers before them spent their COA careers giving shape to their own curriculum, deciding which experiences will be most meaningful and which people to engage with. Now, if there's one adjective that describes these 72 and the 1,900 that comes before them, and I'm actually a little nervous in trying to tell you what that word is. And you should know, starting off, that I mean it with all due respect, and only in the better sense of the two words. And you should also know, because I'm a COA grad myself, I'm using this word to describe myself. But the thing I believe we've provided to your sons, daughters, granddaughters, grandsons, friends, etc., is scrappy. Scrappy. And I say to you, the human ecological approach to learning yields a really scrappy crew. And I wholeheartedly submit that such scrappiness is the perfect characteristic to have as you enter a world full of such dynamism. Now, I ran that word by a colleague here, and he said it conjured an image of a feral street dog. But I used it anyway. I mean, I love mutts. I mean, mutts are the best. I've got one. They're healthier than any purebred. But that's not how I'm using the word. Our graduates are scrappy in the sense that they are determined, eager, innovative, improvisational, all most excellent qualities for getting a job, yes, but also for being successful at life in general. For those of you who saw those presentations yesterday, I think you'll definitely agree that that word really works. These 72 and the 1,900 before them, they make things happen, they get things done, they take risks, they test themselves to and through failure, they have initiative, are curious, and they will always be learners. Now, there are a few other scrappy individuals out here. My dad is one of them. My dad is a scrappy guy. He built an organization from scratch called From Houses to Homes. And without a whole lot more than scrappiness and passion, he's built 600 homes, a medical clinic, and an enormous, beautiful elementary school in rural Guatemala for the poor. That's scrappy, yeah. Abigail Dunn, she did our senior project on another really scrappy guy. Miller Doherty is a scrappy guy, right? She used self-starter, but I think it's pretty much the same. Yeah. Sarah Baker, she's our grand marshal today. She's very, very scrappy. She spent 13 years with us at COA, built our admissions office into a force of nature. Did she bring expertise and professionalism and skill to the job? Of course she did. But she also brought a very large dose of gumption. And I think, and I feel confident in labeling that gumption scrappy. Sarah, we're going to really miss you. Paul, I think you're scrappy too. Yeah. The thing I love most about Paul is that while he's out there doing work, pulling levers of social medicine, working at policy, sometimes at 30,000 feet, he's first and foremost a clinician, feet on the ground, doing whatever it takes to improve the life and the immediate situation of the person that is sitting in front of him, and that is scrappy. So my daughter Maggie suggested I end this by saying, "Don't worry, be scrappy," but in the fine tradition of scrappiness, let's roll up our sleeves, let's get her done, and let's graduate these 72 human ecologists. Yeah.